What's up, everybody? This is Jay, and this is Empire Season 5, Episode 9, Had It From My Father. I want to thank all my supporters at patreon.com/Jaymoorereviews, Joyce M, D Thorne, Anthony M, Yolanda R, Angel B, Eddie S, Jenny J, Mario H, Lachelle S, Cynthia H, Felena W, and Special K. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the like button and let's get into it. When we come in, we see everybody worried that Bella might shoot herself with the gun. She's looking down the barrel of the gun, pointing it at him. Everybody's worried. Lucia's like, "Hey, everybody, let's just be quiet." And then she's like, "Put the gun down, baby. Put the gun down." And so Cookie say everybody worried, and they saying, Bella, don't do that. Put the gun down." And she's standing there pointing the gun, and then we see Hakeem calmly start singing "Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star," and it calms her down, and he's swinging "Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star," and he get close enough where he's able to grab that gun and subdue her and take it from her, basically the weapon. And so everybody was like, "Oh," and everybody kind of relaxed. They happy. They give her a hug, and everybody's worried. So meanwhile, we see Cookie talking with Bella and Tiana, and she's saying, "Hey, it's okay. It ain't your fault, honey. It's really our fault. We've been promoting this ride or die lifestyle and everything, and I just want to let you know that's a mistake." And then we hear Lucius, and he's talking to Hakeem, and he's saying, "Hey, this you got to get your house in order, son." He tried to walk away. He like, "Sit your ass down, boy. I'm talking to you. You got to get everything in order. You're the only one in this family that don't have blood on their hands. I carried the gun since 6th grade, okay? You don't have to do that. It's your chance to break the cycle, but you got to want to do it. You can't just do that. You have the opportunity to make a change." And then Cookie is talking to Tiana. She's saying, we shouldn't have had y'all trying to be a Cookie and Lucius 2.0. You know, the ride or die, that's crazy. The truth is, people change and their needs change as they grow up. And that's the truth. So you just work on you. Lucius is saying, "Hey, you got a chance to make a difference, to break the cycle. You don't have to do that. You don't have to carry a gun, okay?" And he say, "Okay," and walk away. And Lucius is realizing that maybe he ain't getting through to him. So meanwhile, on the other side of town, we see Jamal's boo thing, Kai, and he's working hard researching on the Empire story. And then Jamal like, "Kai, come on, babe, let's go back to bed." And he like, "Well, I can't. I'm working on the story right now. All this info is checking out. It's crazy what they're doing and how Empire's trying to, spy on the customers. This is just crazy." And he's like, "Yeah, I know. You can save the world tomorrow. Let's go back to bed right now." And so he's like, "Okay, let's go. I'll tuck you in. You can tuck in between my two pillows." Meanwhile, we see Cookie and Lucius getting ready to go to bed, and he like, "Okay, so what were we fighting about again?" And she like, "Oh, Lucius, come on, we just dodged a bullet, literally, okay? We gonna argue over 2,000 square feet, all right? It's a condo, okay?" And he like, "I'm just saying." She like, "I'm just saying. This ain't had to be the Thomas Crown affair, all right? We need to get our house in order and get this money together." He like, "So that's all we about is money?" She like, "No, look, I love you, okay, Lucius, and that ain't gonna change. But right now, all this is happening because nobody feels secure. We ain't gonna be secure until we get this money." And he like, "Oh, so that's what we gonna do about Kingsley?" She like, "Look, I'm tired of hearing about Kingsley. Okay, we need to move on, and we need to build LFM and be done with him, okay?" And so she turned over, ready to go to sleep. Meanwhile, on the other side of town, at Empire, we see Giselle, and she like, "Look, you need to have me running Empire with you, or it's going to be all over that we found the newest little brother of the Lion Clan." He like, "Eldest son." She like, "Oh, excuse me." He like, "It's all right. I don't like being blackmailed." And she like, "Well, just a lot of words, just yes or no. He like, well, I don't like blackmail, but you have made me think about what we could do. And she like, mm-hmm. He like, well, me and you together, we could run Empire and destroy Lucius Lyon together at the same time. What do you think? And so she's sitting there and she like, oh, okay, is that right? He like, well, it's a lot of landmines I planted here, and without my help, you're gonna land on a few. So she like, well, what's the policy on champagne in the morning? And so he smiles because they about to celebrate, meaning that's a done deal. So meanwhile, we see on the other side of town, Andre and he's coming home and Quincy's home, and so everybody's like, welcome home. She's the mom, and they got a little thing saying welcome home Quincy, and he got a Christmas tree. Like, oh man, you got a tree too? And she like, yeah, and a present. Here, open the present. And so he get the present, and Andre standing there in the cut. And she like, thank you, Andre, for everything. You've been a blessing to us. He like, oh well, it is more about the person that confessed to the crime. She like, Andre, don't try it. I know what you did for us, and I thank you. It's been just such a blessing. And he didn't say nothing. He quiet, being humble. And Quincy opens up the package, and it's a card saying, welcome home, anything, anywhere. He like, anything? She like, anything. He like, well, how about some hot dogs? She like, huh? Some hot dogs? He like, yeah, how about some hot dogs in the beach? And so she give him a hug. She like, I'll be off tomorrow, we can do that. And Andre give him dap, and he like, hey, Andre, why don't you come with us? And Andre like, I don't know, I got a few things I got to take care of tomorrow, so we'll see. And then he leave, he sell him bye. Meanwhile, we see Cookie and Big Portion and them, they talking. She like, make sure you got good liquor, because we don't want nobody talking about we had cheap liquor. And so they come down to sit down. She like, what is this? He like, come on, we getting ready to see our boy at work. And so she looking at what he eating or whatever. She like, what you over there eating? And so we see Kai come up on the TV. And he's like, yeah, well, Empire. We all know about Empire, and now we see what their stats, and it seems that they have a new customer. Then Becky, Big Red, and Giselle is watching as well. And so he's like, yeah, Empire Extreme. And he's breaking everything down, and Lucius is just smiling, relishing in the victory. And Cookie is watching, and she like, oh, okay, yeah, we gonna get him. That's what she thinking. And he breaks it down, and he says, it seems that they have a new customer, the federal government. And Becky like, oh no, she almost choked, not the po-po. And so Big Red Machine was worried, and Giselle was like, oh my goodness. And so now Kingsley is watching, and he like, yeah, and all of this is under the watch of the new CEO, Jeff Kingsley. And Kingsley faces on there, and he gets pissed right now, and he gets up and he throws his drink at the wall and breaks his drink on the wall, pissed, and he's mad now. His cat's out the bag. And then Cookie like, get out of here, got your ass, boy. And everybody laughing, and Jamal, yeah, we got him. And Big Portion is laughing, and so everybody is smiling. They like, yeah, we did good. He like, yeah, that was my fiance did that. And Cookie like, yeah, now we finally got this book closed, we can move on, right? And he like, well, almost. I mean, we almost. She like, what? No, this is over, okay? This book is closed. We need to move on, okay, Nubby? And he like, what, Nubby? And she like, yeah, and you keep on eating over there, you're gonna be a little fat Nubby too. And he like, what you say? And she's like, what you say? Nothing. Meanwhile, at Empire, we see Kingsley and Patel. He's mad, like, what is going on? You need to find out what happened. And he's like, what do you got to say? And she like, well, I'm going to put together a statement, and I just need a little more bandwidth, and we're going to pump it out. He's like, what about you, Kingsley? He's like, well, when I find out who did this, I'm going to have their head on a platter for you. He's like, you better. And so, meanwhile, we see Tiana, and she's getting Bella and all her stuff together, and she got her 1980s sweater, Breakfast Club sweater with her shoulder hanging out, and Hakeem walk in, oh, my kids, I want to apologize for what I was doing to you. And she got her little shoulder lean on, and so he's like, yeah, Tiana, I'm sorry. She like, I can't deal with this anymore. I just can't keep doing this. And he like, look, I'm sorry, and I swear I'm gonna do my best, and I promise I'm gonna make it up to you. And so he got his little lips all watered up, and he tried to come close for a little smooch, but she back up real quick and give him the cold shoulder. I mean, it was already out, and he got salty. He tried to grease them lips and walk away. Meanwhile, we see on the other side of town, they playing pool. Little Blake Griffin, more like fake Griffin. And so Hakeem come in with his little rabbit skin coat. And so they like, oh man, who's this? What he doing here? And he like, hey, look, man, I ain't strapped, man. And so he show up under the rabbit. He ain't had nothing. And so they like, man, what's up, man? What you doing here? He like, man, you said my kids was like family to you, right? He like, yeah, man, I feel that way. He's like, I almost lost my daughter, man. He like, oh man, I'm sorry to hear that, bro. Man, I wasn't trying for all this to happen, man. And me and Tiana, ain't nothing happened, man. He kind of gave him a little aw. And so, meanwhile, he like, look, anything I could do, apologize or make it up, I'll do it. And that got Hakeem thinking. Meanwhile, we see on the beach, cold as it can be in the winter, he got on combat boots and a fur eating hot dogs, and she all smiles because her baby is back. Here come Andre strolling along the beach like Dexter St. Jock. He like, yo, what up, man? How you doing, Quincy? He like, hey, man, I'm gonna go get some drinks. You want something? And so he walk off and lead him to the talk. And so he like, look, last time I was here, my wife died, and I just didn't feel like I was worthy and deserved this and that. I'm a bad dude, and I'm putting you in danger. She like, Andre, I don't feel that way. He like, I just want you to know that if you with me, it's a risk. And she like, Andre, it's okay. I like you. And then she lay on them lips and starts smacking and kissing, and he feels better. Meanwhile, at Empire, we see Becky, and she's walking with Giselle, and they trying to figure out what happened. And so she's still trying to get the gist of what happened. And then we see Pelly Patel and Kingsley walk up. They like, yeah, Becky, we need you to come with us. She like, what? And like, we know what you did. And she like, what do you mean? He like, Kingsley showed me the emails, so you working with Lucius. She like, what? And what are you talking about? And he like, yeah, we know what you did. It's time for you to go, Becky. She like, what? You lying? Let me see that. Let me see those papers or whatever. And he like, you guys escort Miss Williams out. And she like, what? No, what you talking about? You lying, Kingsley. Let me see that stuff. Give it here. Let me see that. And so, she ain't having it, and so Giselle is just shocked right now. And then they got the men in black to come and grab her. But he didn't know he was dealing with somebody out of his weight class, and so he had to get back up his tag team partner. And so Becky kind of got one meat hook on each of them and just slanging them around. And next thing you know, they tagged in some more men in black, and it turned into a Royal Rumble. And so Becky and everybody, they all going at it, and they trying to get her out of there. But she's pretty formidable, her adversary. And so they was having a hard time getting her out. In the meantime, Giselle like, what is this? He said, sink or swim, remember? And so she like, oh, this is bull. Meanwhile, we see at the Lion Showcase, Lucius is helped getting it together, and young Cosby walk in. He like, look, I heard through the thirst vine that Becky just got put out. And so he like, oh, what? And they say, yeah, Kingsley gonna try to blame you and Becky for this deal with the police. He like, what? He trying to make me out to be a snitch? Is he crazy? I ain't never dropped a dime on nobody. He like, look, don't do nothing stupid to jeopardize the showcase. He like, jeopardize, forget the showcase. I'm going to talk to him. And so meanwhile, we see Jamal, and he got his little glitter sugar shoes on, and here come his boo Kai, and he like, Jamal, I need to talk to you. I found out that your dad, he buried a lot of information. I got new information, and it was all kind of stuff that artists did, and he buried it all. He like, well, if you look, you'll see that I was a drug addict as well. He like, look, my chesticles remind me I don't believe in half-truths. If you want me to bury this story, I'm gonna resent you for it. I just need time to think what I'm gonna do. He like, what? It's not the same, boo. You're my family. How you gonna make me choose? He like, look, I got a new job offer in London. I just need time to think. He like, so what does this mean? It's over? He like, I don't know. Meanwhile, we see at the showcase, Cookie, she's like, where is Lucius? This about to start. Portion is like, well, look, you got to do something. She like, the show must go on. And so she go on out there and she start the showcase looking good in her dresses. And she like, yeah, this is going to be the new Lion Family Showcase with the new artists and the new sound. And so I want you all to hear it. And they all celebrating, everybody happy. You got old boy kicking the little beats on the computer, and then here come Blake Griffin, and he starts flowing, and then here come Hakeem and his little glitter draws, and so he starts rapping and flowing. He got his little shiny draws on. Here come Tiana looking like a sexy chandelier with moon boots on, and so she's over here and she's putting in the little mean mug and stuff. Meanwhile, at Empire, we see Lucius. We see Kingsley, and he's talking or whatever to Giselle, and she like, what was that going on with Becky? And next thing you know, Lucius comes in and he's beating the crap out of Kingsley. And nobody saw Lucius coming. She like, Lucius, stop, you gonna kill him. He like, you think I'm a snitch? And drop the dime, and he's beating the crap out of him. And she like, Lucius, he's your son, stop, he your son. And then Kingsley is just getting whooped, and she like, Lucius, stop. And he like, huh? What'd you say? And he was just knocked out dang near. And he like, did you say that? And she like, he your son. His mama was White Tracy. She's in the rehab right now. Okay? He's your son, Lucius. And Lucius is just in shock right now. And then he wiping his blood off his mouth. He like, hey, Dad, how's it going? And Lucius is just in awe right now, just still in disbelief. And so then next thing you know, we see Lucius that made his way to the rehab, and he sees her and he's looking at the pictures and everything. And then while he's looking at the picture, he starts to have a flashback, and he's remembering when they was younger and coming out the house or whatever. And he like, look, you need to take your time and take it slow. And then he had a little packet of booger sugar. Then she like, look, I know what I'm doing, Lucius. I got this. And so then they walking down the steps. He got his little faux fur on. And she like, we gonna see each other later? He like, I don't know, maybe. And so he like, hey, what's up, Sean? And Sean like, man, you with White Tracy too? Man, you need to just get you one girl. He like, well, I ain't found that one yet, man. And so meanwhile, he flashed back and she wakes up and she sees him. She like, Lucius, I knew you'd come. He like, hey, Tracy, how you doing? And she like, I knew you'd be here. I knew you'd come. And he like, what do you mean, Tracy? We hung out a little bit, but we didn't do much. And she like, well, that's all it takes, Lucius. He like, look, Tracy, I don't know what you had. She like, look at the picture, okay? Just take a look. That's your boy. That's your son. Take a DNA test if you need to, okay? He's yours. And so Lucius is looking. Meanwhile, at the showcase, the show is going on, and Jamal and he's sitting there, and then Lucius walk in. She like, Cookie like, where you been? He like, look, I have to tell you something. And she like, look, it's no time. The show is almost over. You gonna have to tell me when you get home, because you've been gone all day. And she walk off. And so he looking stupid. Meanwhile, we see the three black divas there singing. Hakeem and his little glitter draws. Everybody is flowing. Mario come out with his little, Pootie Tang jacket. And so everybody is smiling. Cookie like, we got deals with Apple and all these companies, Nike, for over $30 million on the table. And then Giselle walks in and she like, Lucius, I need to talk to you. He like, what are you doing here? She like, look, this is all cute, but how would you like to be back on the throne in the house that you built? And then everybody like, what do you mean? She like, I got a way to get Kingsley out, but you can run it and I'll be second in command. And then Cookie like, huh? I don't know about that. And so she like, you need to think about it. Let me know. And so he like, yeah, I'll think about it. And so meanwhile, backstage, Cookie and Lucius is thinking about it. They like, what do you think we should do? We got a chance to start something new or finish what we started in the first place. And meanwhile, he rubbing his shoulder because he done wore through a no-hitter at Kingsley's face. And so he like, well, I don't know. We don't have the money to do both. We can't manage and do that. We don't have the bandwidth. She like, well, look, how about we use the money for tonight and this? And she pull out the cashier's check. He like, what is this? And he throwing his shoulder out. It's hurting. He getting old. And so he like, ooh, she like, you all right? He like, yeah, I'm all right. And so he pulls out the check and he reads it, and it's for $5 million and some change. He like, $5 million? You sold the condo? And she like, yeah, I sold it. I'm all in, baby. He like, you made up with your sister? She like, no, I ain't made up with my big mouth sister. I don't need her. And so right when they was talking, Big Portions walks in, and she like, Cookie, the song's over. It's time to wrap it up. We gotta go. And so Portion, she stops it up. And Cookie like, all right, let's go. And so she goes over to the end of the stage to talk, and Lucius, he didn't get out what he needed to tell her again about Kingsley. So while they on stage, she like, yeah, this was great in the new sound, and I want to bring up everybody that we do this for, the LFM, the Lion family. And so come on, everybody, come on up, my babies. And so all the boys come up, and they all talking, and next thing you know, you hear them say, Lucius. And they like, is that Kingsley? What is that? And he like, Lucius, hey, is this going to be for all the lions? This going to work out? And Lucius is speechless right now. And Giselle, she got her eyes closed like, oh, damn. And he like, yeah, did you tell him? Or you want me to tell him? Since, this family likes the dramatics. Yeah, everybody, Lucius is my father. And everybody start looking like, what? And he like, yeah. And Cookie is looking like, this gotta be a lie. And Lucius is speechless. And so Lulu's lips is sealed, and then Kingsley like, yeah, Lucius, everybody knows how he met Cookie, but have you told everybody how you met my mom? And so everybody's looking at him, and Jamal and them is like, this can't be real. And he's like, yeah, you got my mom, you was with her, left her, and she was addicted to crack and in rehab, and I was your dirty little secret. And so they flash back, and he remembers when the mom was like, today you're gonna meet your daddy. And so he was all smiles, looking forward to meeting daddy. And so he comes, and she sees at the house is Jamal and Andre playing with the little truck. And so he started playing with the little fire truck, having a good time. And so she knock on the door, and Lucius come. He like, hey Tracy, what you doing here? I don't do nothing out my house. She like, oh yeah, I know that. And he like, well, you can go see Bunky around the corner. He'll take care of you. She like, yeah, well, Lucius, let me you meet my son. And so he comes over. He like, oh, that's a good looking boy. How you doing? And so he shake his hand or whatever. And he like, yeah, go on over there to Bunky. He take care of you. And he slide her a Twinkie. And so she takes the 20. And so he like, yeah, don't come back over here. And you can hear Cookie calling him. He like, yeah, I don't do that over here. Don't come back. And so she walk away, and she never told him that was his son. And so he like, yeah, here's the 20 right here. He said, yeah, while Jamal and the kids was playing with the fire truck, I was the daddy's dirty little secret. And mommy, I never saw her sober again after that. Yeah, Lucius, that's what you did. And so everybody's looking all sad. Hakeem like, this can't be true, Dad. And so Lucius is still silent. Lulu's lips are sealed. And so everybody's staring at him on Front Street. And Cookie like, this can't be true. And so he was looking like he wanted to say something. And so Cookie, in disgust, she just walks away, and everybody starts to walk off. And she just like can't believe it. And so Lucius is left standing by himself. But Andre, he up there, he mad. He gonna protect his daddy. And so he walks over there, and he walks mean mugging him. He like, oh, what's up, baby bro? You gonna hit me too? He said, nah, I ain't gonna hit you. I'm gonna end you. And so he said, well, not unless I end you first, baby bro. And so Andre, he's looking at him, mean mugging him. He probably could have killed him with that eyes, and Kingsley mean mug too. And so they both in a little Mexican standoff. And then it flashed back to 3 months later, and we see Cookie like, no, that's my baby. Get your hands off of me, baby. Andre, no. And she fighting and try to get to him, and everybody pulling her back so they can work on him. And they got the, defibrillator trying to shock shock him and there's no pulse and he's flatlining. And so they like Andre, and he got little blood boogers hanging out his nose. And so we don't know what happened. And so they trying to check for a pulse. They putting back on the paddles again to shock him. They checking, he's flatlining. And so they are all worried about Andre. Then they like, Andre, no. And so the season ends with this view of Andre laying there. It doesn't show him actually dead because they could shock him again or get a pulse. Chances are they may or may not. Who knows? And so we don't see him in the casket. We don't actually see him die. And we see Cookie and everybody frustrated. And the chances of Kingsley actually killing Andre is very slim. I don't see Kingsley getting down like that. But something has happened to Andre that has put his life in danger. And so we won't find out until the season returns, and that's the crazy part. They love to leave you on a cliffhanger. But in my opinion, who's in the casket? I originally said Andre in my video, but now because they showing Andre in this position, and after everything that happened with Kingsley, and after reevaluating who was in the casket, I think it may be Kingsley now or his mother, because the only people that was left in that room was Becky and Lucius. If it was Andre, Cookie would have still been there with Lucius crying at the casket, as well as Jamal and Hakeem, but they were all gone. Only person still mourning was Lucius, and Becky was there. So maybe Becky wouldn't have been there for Kingsley after he double crossed her. So I don't know what is somebody that those two have in common. Maybe Giselle. And that would really be a flip, because Giselle was Becky's friend. And Giselle was trying to help Lucius get the throne back. And so I think they may try to twist it, and nobody saw that coming, and it ends up being Giselle, because she's the only person that Becky and Lucius would probably both be there for and feel sorry for. Because the only reason I say Lucius as well is because she's trying to help Lucius get the crown back and the throne. So it'll be interesting to see who's in the casket, but I think this right here was just a way to throw us off in left field. In the end, thanks for watching. I appreciate all your views, everybody that supports my work at patreon.com and checks out my exclusive videos there. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace.